Well, welcome back my fantastic artistic friends to Painting with MasterTemple. Now, we're going to do a really big, massive mountain scene, as you can probably tell from the thumbnail. And if all goes well, you'll be seeing this image, and if not, well, we'll scrap it and start again. But further along the line into the video, we'll be looking at some subscriber art that I've been tagged into Facebook, so keep around for that. Okay, this is a double prime pre-stretched canvas. It's 18 by 24 inches, massive. And I've coated it in a very, very, very thin layer of liquid white mixed with a little bit of tiny liquid clear. Give us a little bit of a slick glow on the canvas. Okay, so let's crack on and let's paint a nice, beautiful, big mountain scene. So I'm going to take a 1-inch paintbrush and I'm going to go into a tiny bit. Now these are Winsor & Newton's paints, okay? And I'm going to go into some French Ultramarine, okay, and a tiny bit of white. Tiny bit of white just to knock off that sharp blueness. I want it very, very cool. Okay, I'm going to start up here and I'm just going to put a very cool blue up there, just like that. Wow, this canvas is pretty big. Okay, and go all the way along. Now I've run out of paint on the brush and it's mixing with a liquid white, so it'll be even paler than when we first started. Okay, just go across the whole top just like that. We'll blend all this out as we go along. Okay, now I'm going to take some Phthalo Blue, just mixing a little bit of Phthalo Blue to that colour, and white, and back into some French Ultramarine. Give us a different colour blue, and we're just going to swirl this in just there. Okay, now that blue might look a bit too strong, but we're going to come back with some more white and just whoosh in some chaotic skies, really, just like that. Okay, and I'm going to get a tiny bit of black involved with that, so the colours on the brush are really a bluey grey black now. Okay, and again, just hit anywhere you want, and there'll be a nice little cloud or sky, whatever we call it nowadays, you know, just down there, wherever we want this. Just swirling the brush around, just like that. Back into a bit more French Ultramarine. Just vary the colours as you go along. There's no right and wrong way of doing this. Just change the flavour so the sky looks kind of not just one dead flat colour. Wow, I'm having to reach right over this other side. I'm only a short man from Yorkshire, you know. Okay. Drop that brush down, okay, and we'll pick another brush up and we'll get a touch of white on that, just a touch of white, and then we'll come up here and just add tiny bits of white flecks into the sky. And we're going to blend all this eventually together. Give it a bit of a nice hue, okay, right down to the horizon line. Now I don't know where the horizon is going to be, possibly about there, okay, but we shall see. Okay, now this brush has got the liquid white on, what we've applied to the canvas to start with, so all we're going to do is just take this and blend this into the canvas, just like so. Get strong with it, get mean with it, move the colour. Move that colour about and just merge it all together. Some of the different colours, the blacks, the blues, the ultramarines, the phthalos, the whites, will all still be in there when we've finished. Okay, but you just can't tell where one stops and one starts. Just like that. Now we've got a pretty dramatic sky, but let's make it a little bit more dramatic. So set that brush down. Wow, it's a cold day where I am, and I bet it is if you're watching in America and Canada. My heart goes out to you guys over there. I hope you survived the storm, my fantastic friends. Okay, a bit of black, and to that I'm just going to take a little bit of cobalt violet, just a touch of cobalt violet. Again, these are Winsor & Newton's paints. Okay, so it's just a bit of black and a bit of cobalt violet. Okay, just every now and again I'm just going to put in a little bit of a dark streak. Okay, just a dark streak. Okay, no right and wrong way of doing this again. All you got to do is just let the brush dance and jiggle wherever you think they should be. That's where they should be. Exactly where they should be. Okay, as the big man once said. Okay, now we're going to blend this again with that liquid white brush. It'll go grayer. I'm just going to take it up, tease this darker colour. We've got a bit more of a dramatic sky just there. And then the very pale blue will come right down here, just like that. Okay, now I'm going to even darken this corner up a bit. I don't like it that pale. So back to the black, back to the black. Okay, and again, just up here, just jiggle this. Okay, now this will push the other ones that are there a little bit behind. That makes sense. This cloud, this dark cloud, will be in the foreground. Okay, we'll just do that. Okay, and then grab a little bit of this white or grey or whatever colour you've got going on the palette and just tease that on top. Again, no right and wrong way of doing this. Just tease it, and let it go. Just let it go. Let it go. There. Like so. Back to the big old blendery brush. And again, we're just going to smudge out the base of these lines that we've created and then fluff them up. Take them out. Just like that. See, that's a bit darker this corner, so we can, it'll draw your eyes. You want your dark corners, dark top, dark bottom, preferably dark sides as well, so you've got a light spot in the middle. That'll draw your eye into the centre of the painting once it's all done. And if you've got warm spots in the middle as well, like the reds and the yellows, that's even better. Cold spots on the outside. Okay, I think we've got a nice little sky. I'm just going to add one more thing to that. I'm going to add a white cloud over there. I think that deserves a little bit of a white cloud. Okay, not much of one, but we'll put one in anyway, just to show you how we make them, or how I make them. And we'll just tap in. So this is just a round, soft brush. I use it for blending really, but it works. It really does work for clouds. And maybe we'll highlight this little cloud there with something as well. Just tap the base of this. Once you've run out of paint, you can just tap the base of these clouds and then just gently tease them up and mist them into nothing. There we go. I think we'll leave this colour on this brush instead of washing it, because we'll use it again very soon. I'm sure we will. I am sure we will. Okay, so aggressive sky. Right, let's paint some mountains. Okay, so I'm going to paint some faraway mountains first. Okay, so for that I want a colour fairly similar to the sky, but not too distinct. So I'm going to take some white, black, blue, whatever we've got going. That looks about right. Don't over mix the paint. And maybe there. Okay, we'll put a nice mountain peak just over there. Okay, we'll come back and tease and torment this mountain till it looks about right. Okay, now scraping off all that excess paint just there like that. Scrape it all off, get mean with it. Maybe there's another peak there. It goes off into nothing. Goes off into nothing. Right, now before we start doing any of this, okay, I got some Christmas presents for Christmas. I'm going to put a little bit of an image on the screen now, and I don't usually wear Crocs. Okay, I've never ever worn these things that go on your feet. I think they're quite ugly, but I got them as a Christmas present, and I got these Bob Ross little tags that go on there, and I think, you know, that's pretty sweet. So I'm wearing them at the moment. So thank you. You know who you are who got me them. I won't be wearing them out and about for sure, but just here in the painting studio, we can wear them. They are actually quite comfortable, but I don't think they're the right footwear, especially around here. Okay, but they are They are comfortable. They really are. Right, so we've got those little background peaks in there. Let's put some highlights and shadows in. Now we need to know where the highlight and the shadow are coming from. So maybe this time today it's coming from the left hand side. Usually I paint the highlights from the right hand side, but we'll paint from the left hand side this time. So we need a shadow colour and a highlight colour. Now this mountain's so far away we can barely pick out any detail, but I'm just putting a little bit of dark colour. It's just the same colour that's on there, just added a bit more blue, a little bit more ultramarine blue. Okay, we'll just take that down there like so. Use the knife, let the knife do the work for you. Okay, and a bit on this peak. Don't want much because it's so far away. We don't want any real detail. We'll get some detail in the big mountains when we get to it. Okay, just like that. Okay, wipe off the knife on a paper towel, clean paper towel. Let's grab a little bit of white. Now this can be just off white, so if you've got a bit of blue mixed in there from when you've been tapping in from the clouds, that's fine. Okay, we want the bright white stuff, the bright white snow in the foreground really and close up. So we're just with a knife, very gently, very gently. And again, it is a cold day where I am, so you may see some vapour coming off my ever-moving mouth, but still, it's all good fun. It's all good fun. There we go. Let's maybe take that over a bit. Let the knife do the work for you. Blend and mix. Okay, blend that out there like so. And again on this one, we'll have a little bit of highlight there. Okay, there. And maybe this one, well, we don't know which one goes in the foreground. You decide. You've got to decide this. Where's the big one living? Where's the little one living? I don't know. But we'll make and mash these together just like that. Take some more of that shadowy colour. And we can cut that off just there like so. Take that off the canvas there. Maybe even some streaks of black, but I don't want much. Just one or two, just to define that colour and break it up a little bit. There. Like so and so. Now we've got as far away mountains, two nice little peaks. Let's put something in front of that. But before we do that, I'm going to mist it up. So back into with the brush that we created the clouds with, a blendery brush. Okay, I think it's pony hair or goat hair. I'm not 100% sure. I have told you before, but I do forget these things. Okay, I do forget a lot of things sometimes. Okay, and then down here, just distort, just diffuse, just like that. Again, it's too far away to pick out any big detail, but we have got a nice cloud. A nice mountain sitting in the sky. Okay, let's put something in front of that. Now I want a different shape mountain because I don't want continuous triangular peaks. Okay, so I'm going to grab, this time I'm going to grab a touch of black and add a little bit more of that grey white colour to that black. Just make it a dark grey colour this time. Okay, we'll come up here and maybe this one lives there and go straight across. Just like that. Okay, go straight across. Really push the paint into the fabric. Okay. And then it comes up and down and then make a different shape. We've got to have a peak on this mountain, but we don't have to have perfect triangles all the time. And a bit more there, like so. And just fill in this area there like that. Let me take that off to nothing. I'm going to blend most of that, so we don't really care. Okay, in fact, let's make it a little bit taller. Okay, just a little bit taller, so we'll come up there. So we can change his minds if we wish. And then there, like that. That's better. That's a bigger mountain. That's what we're after. Something about there. Okay, pull down, and again we'll have something else in the foreground here. Okay, so really get in there and pull out. And smudge on there. Okay, so we've removed most of the excess. Now you could do this with a brush and blend it out, but we're alright as we are, I think, at the moment. Okay, let's go to some of this grey shadowy colour. Okay, so this is just made with blues, whites, and a little bit of black. Okay, like a dark, shadowy, stony, grey, battleship blue colour, I think it is. Okay, we said the highlight's coming from this side, so we'll have that coming down there. Now, I hope you can see that. That looks pretty much a bit dark, but we can come back and put some highlights on the shadows. That's how we rock and roll, you see. We'll just put that there, like so. I do love painting mountains. They are one of the most rewarding kinds of paintings you could do. They really are. They truly are. Okay, and then we'll just go down here like so, like that. And then just add some of that colour down into the base. You don't have to be too accurate with this. Just wherever you want it. Now I'm going to take a little bit of a lighter blue, a grey colour, and we can just pick out just there and here, just a few highlights of the shadows, if that makes sense. Highlights of the shadows, just there. So we've got a couple of different colours going on. And it makes your composition a little bit more than just a plain old light blue, white shadows, if that makes sense. Come down there like that. There. Like so. Okay, now we've got this big mountain. Now don't worry about these light spots that we haven't hit and painted in, because we could blend them into the mountain and give another variant of colour. Okay, and I'm using a little Bob Ross knife. A good friend gave me this a couple of years ago, and I try and paint with it ever since. I find it a little bit more control than a big knife, but that's just my preference. Okay, but you could paint with anything, really. You could paint with anything. So I'm just coming on here with a little bit of white, and it'll pick up some of that grey colours that's under there, because we haven't blended it out. That's what we're after. And we don't want a dead straight line coming down the centre. We want a nice ridge of colour. Okay, maybe in there, like that, and then down. Very gently does it. Only the paint touches the canvas, you see. Only the paint will be touching the canvas. Now, some of you have been seeing some older videos that I've been putting on the channel, and some of these old videos are from a previous channel that I have, but it's more for coin collecting now. So if you see any of these logos on some of the videos, they're not from this channel, but they are mine. So I thought I'd better share them with you, because I do like some of those paintings, and some of you guys have liked them, which is pretty awesome. Okay, so there we go. So we've got a nice highlighted side. I think we could blend some of this over. Just turn it like that. Use the knife. Okay, I'm going to get the little side of the little knife, and I'm just going to sneak in some of this into that crevice there, just like that. Okay, and then maybe take some of this that goes down there like so. Maybe even a little bit lighter in that shadow colour. A little bit lighter. And we'll come down there. Just let it bounce, let it mix. Let it play for you, just very gently, hardly any pressure. Hardly any pressure, just there, like so. Wow, that is one big peak. That is one monstrous peak. Okay, back to just some flat titanium white, and we'll just put some whites in there. I've got a little bit of grey still left on the palette knife, but that's perfectly fine. We're going to have another big ridge of mountains here, I think. We've got to have something there, yeah? Okay, back to the blendery brush, bit of white paint, okay? And then just tap the base, follow the angles of the mountain. Don't just go straight across, okay? Just go up the side, okay? Up the side. There's hardly any liquid white on this part of the canvas because we wanted to play with the palette knife really, but there we go. There we go. Try not to put much liquid white when you're painting anyway. That's probably a massive mistake, and I've done it myself no end of times. If you put a lot of liquid white on there, you're going to end up having your painting just basically drop off the canvas, and that's not good, trust me. Okay, so we blend that there. I've got a little air there coming out of the if that happens, because they do, the natural bristles, a lot of these paint brushes lose air just like humans do, just like I do, just like my dog does all over the carpet, yeah. Okay, right, so now we've teased out a nice little mountain there, nice little peak, big strong peak. I'll just blend this out. Now there is, like I say, some liquid white on here, you know, so we will get that nice blending effect. But that peak looks quite alone, so let's make him a nice big strong friend. So I'm just going to go straight into some black, and if it picks up some of that white on the palette, that's fine. Okay, so we're just going to put this one wherever it should be, and that is massive. Wow, that is massive. But that's what we want, that's what we're after, just a nice big strong peak. And it maybe comes down there and maybe goes off there, comes down and goes right in front. I do like making this up as I go along. Bump there and there, so you can see for absolute miles in this painting, and that's a good thing when you're doing a painting, and if you can see for miles, that's what you're after. Okay, right, just scrape off all the excess paint that you've put in there. How's this gonna lay? We don't know. Maybe down there like so. Right, now this time I am going to get the brush. Don't know which brush I'm going to get. This one that's just had blue on it will do. And we're just going to grab this and pull straight down. Okay, don't matter if the blue's in there, because we're going to make some highlights and shadows with blue. Okay, just pull, get strong. And again, don't worry if you've got some canvas showing through. That's perfectly fine. Get my head out the way for this part. I've been told my head gets in the way of some paintings. Okay, just blend that out. Wow. Now that is one sturdy, strong, massive, monstrous mountain. One of my martial arts buddies, he's a strong mountaineer, and he's been on Everest, and whenever we're not doing his martial arts stuff, he's off up to the Scotland and Wales and places like that to climb these big old mountains, and it's something I couldn't do. They're just too cold. And it looks a lot of hard work. Right, so we've got another big monstrous mountain, perfect size mountain there. And we'll just fill this in because we don't know where this is going to lead or go or end up. Okay, and again, don't worry about your clean edges at some parts because we can redefine those with highlights and shadows. Now I am going to use the big knife because this might take a long time to put some highlights and shadows in, but I'm going to start off mixing a little bit of black and a tiny bit of white. Okay, and a bit of blue in that, and we're going to just Again, we're going to pick out where these shadows are. Gently does it, gently does it, gently does it. There, hardly any pressure. Hardly any pressure from the palette knife. From that palette knife. Now, I've been putting a lot of shorts videos up lately. Okay, because what I do is I just paint paint a mountain on a little black canvas, little gessoed black canvas, and all I do is just carry on painting. Once I've painted the mountain, all I do is just scrape it all off and start again. So while I am filling in some of these highlights and shadows on this big beast, I'm gonna let you spend a few moments just looking at some subscriber art, you know, and they are absolutely amazing paintings and pictures. Now, wasn't that some fantastic art? Now, if you want to send me any pictures, the links to my socials are down in the description. Tag me in a photograph. I'd love to see some of your works and your compositions. And if you want to ask me anything, I'm always there. Though I may not get round to answering everything straight away, but I do try and endeavour to answer anybody's queries, questions, or anything like that. Okay, they were fantastic. So give them all a big thumbs up in the comments, please. So what all I've done is just put some shadows on there, and I've started with a little bit of highlight on this little bit of a baby peak down there. Okay, so we'll work on this big one. So this is just the little knife and some titanium white, and all I'm going to do, forgive the arm, but all I'm going to do is just touch on and then just let the knife bounce down here, just like so. And we're creating some epic cliff faces, mountain faces, just like this. You've got to have really thick, firm paint for this technique. It won't work if you've got really thin paint. Okay, it really won't. And I want this to work for you. I want you to be very, very happy and pleased with what you've done, which you will be, because you are an artist. So there we go. And we're just going to fill this in, a little bit of white paint on the little knife, and I'm going to just smarten this edge up. It looks like it wants to come around there, so I think that's where we'll go with it. Okay, maybe take this off that way, and then bring this down, and then we'll work on some more of this. This goes there. Maybe there's a big crack just there. Okay. Very thick, very firm paint, and just down there. Maybe we'll follow this. We might get the big knife and chase that around. Okay. And what might be fun is if we put a few little glimmers of highlights just on this. Don't want to go too mad. Okay, this is still in the shadow side, but that's what we can do. Okay, let's put some more highlights on this big boy or big girl, whatever we want to call him. Just there. Bit of snow clinging up to there. I watched a little bit of a David Attenborough documentary this morning with a snow leopard, and they live in places like this in Pakistan, and what a view, what a country, you know, with all the mountains and everything. Wow. And the wildlife, so diverse. Right, so we've got a couple more creeks there. Let's put some shadows on that. So again, we're going to take some French Ultramarine. That's the flavour of the day, I think, French Ultramarine. And some white. Okay, and we're just going to put some little shadows in there, just like that. Maybe there's one in there. Don't kill all your dark though. Okay, do not kill all your black. We'll just put some in there, just like that, wherever we think they need to live. Okay, wherever we think those need to be. Okay, maybe this comes round there like so, and then down there like that, straight over that, blend that around. Just let the knife do the work. Let the knife do the work. Right, big knife time. Okay, the little knife's good for sneaking in areas, but it's very, very slow. Okay, so all we're gonna do is just put some white down here. This can be like a bit of a ridge that comes over like that. Okay, and then let's just fill that in. Okay, so we'll start off here and we'll just add a little bit of this. I'm going to change the flavour every now and again. Add a little bit of that dark grey to the white. So we've got a little variant of colours going on again. Unless it's absolutely covered with snow, you're going to get some little rocky colours coming through. And I've painted some of these mountains in the past with nice browny tones to them as well. There we go, just mix that there, like so. Down here. Want some greys now underneath this big bank, so we'll just get a lot of that grey and just smudge that in, blend that together. Okay, just like that. Maybe darken it off with a bit of black every now and again. A bit of black paint just there. Need the dark stuff to show the light stuff, yeah? Okay, we can even put a bit of black in the mountain, wherever we think it should live. Okay, again, there maybe. A few on this side. Just pick out one or two wherever you want them. Wherever you want these dark crevices to live. That is one monstrously massive mountain. Now I need to work on some of these shadows and highlights, because some of them are going in all directions at the moment. We'll come around there like so. I'm going to block this in just with a palette knife. There we go. Yeah, I'd like to see some of your work. I really think it'll be quite nice. It's nice seeing what other people are up to and what they're doing and how they're getting on. There. Let's join that together maybe. Join that together. Just play. Just play. How's it looking from your point of view? Is it alright? Is it too much of a big old mess? There. Like that. Just bring it down. Bit of white on top of that. We'll come back and blend it. I think we've got there. I think we've done this big mountain. I'm going to take a step back just in case, because where I'm stood doesn't always give you the best vantage point. I'm virtually sideways onto the canvas. Okay, so I'm just going to take a little bit of white, only a tiny smidgen of white. I'm just going to let the knife just bounce on some of these dark areas. Okay, just there. Just let it bounce, let it play. Just there, like that. Mix that into there. Right, just like that. Now then, dry, clean fan brush, touch of white paint. Just before this ridge, I'm going to just tap this white paint in there. just tap. We may have to come back and smarten that ridge up. Probably will have to. Okay, but I just want to take some of this and just tap. Okay, if it's not sticking, get a bit of liquid white into that. Okay, just blend some of this. I want to fog just a little bit of this area, just there. Maybe we should have done that before the ridge, but we live and learn, don't we? We live and learn. Okay, this is just with a fan brush, just teasing this together, just like that. Maybe grab some of that colour. There, like that. Wow, that is cold. That is cold. Okay, and then we'll come back. We'll fix that ridge in a minute. We're making it up as we go along, yeah? This is nothing compared to what I was going to do. But that's how we paint, yeah? We just mix and match and play and give it some creation. A bit of blues down here, I think. Can't hurt anybody. Just mix them in there like so. Bit of white over the top of that. Come back with a big soft brush and just tease these together. There, like that. Okay, get rid of that brush. Get the big old brush which we blended everything with, and we're just going to blend this, pull this out, pull and tease, just like that. You must be saying, Dan, you've really done it now. You've really done it now. We've got nothing left to paint. But this can all be shadows and highlights, yeah? This can all be shadows. Big old mountain. Yeah. Get a bit more liquid white. Put that on. Grey it off a lot. Tap, 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 tap. Follow the angles of these mountains. Up we go. Just blend, 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 and blend. Different whites, different blues, different colours. There we go. Right, clean the old brush off just down here, and that's it. Okay, back to some mountains. This is gotta be the biggest mountain I've ever painted. Right, a bit of shadow colour. Bit of shadow colour on that ridge there, like we said. Maybe we need a bit more shadow colour on this ridge, just down there. Push that one back. Let it come alive, let it come alive. Okay, let's get a bit of blue and white mixed together. Like so. Down there. Oh, we're just having fun now, yeah? We're just having fun now. I'm going to add a bit of black there, I think. That'll be a nice little, just a bit of black on top of that. Thinking even pushing some trees. No, but let's work more. I might need some more white paint in a minute. We've almost got a full tube of white paint on here. Okay. A bit more there, like so, and then just pull this down, like that. A bit more on this side. Just add it in, just add it in, just add it in. This looks like one of those places where you could go skiing just down here, yeah? Make those noises. Definitely helps. Definitely helps. Definitely helps. Okay. Tease this up. Is this in shadow? I don't know. Let's have a look. Maybe a little bit of blue on top of that. Create a nice shadow effect. There, and there, and there, and there. Right, we're about done for a big mountain. I think we need to put some land on this so we've got somewhere to see it. Okay, we could get carried away till we've got absolutely no canvas left. I'm sure we could. I'm sure we could. Okay, just down there like this. Just adding some more of that white just there. And there. Wherever we want it. Just had to give myself a little bit more of that white paint out of the tube. We were losing it there. We were losing it then. This is so beautiful. The colours are such sharp colours. Right, where are we going with this? I just want to put a little bit of something just right over the top, just so you can't see it. Just break that big blue colour up. A big blue colour. Maybe this peak comes down here. Because we want a little bit of shadow in that one, don't we? Just not much. A bit of blue and grey. Just a little tiny touch to this. Really work it. Really work it. This is one hell of a mountain. Right, there we go. I keep saying that we've finished the mountain, but I just keep seeing more bits that we need to do. But that's alright. It's our composition, yeah? It's our composition. We can do anything. We can do anything on here. Pull straight. There, like that. Okay, leave it alone now. Leave it alone now. Leave it alone. Okay, we want to put some snow on here. Okay, we want to put some snow right on there because we want something that lives about here. Okay, so the best thing to do, I'm going to take that brush that had the white paint on it. I'm going to grab some liquid white and I'm just going to go straight over the top of this. Straight over the top. There, like so. Now, load the brush full of white paint. Full of white paint and pull. Like a little bit of a rounded off area. Fill it all in. It's got a dark grey, bluey shadow area. But if we just fill all this in, we can come back, highlight some of this. So we're looking actually down onto some mountains, some big old mountains, just like that. Remember, this side here is going to be in the shadow. Okay, I'm going to take a fan brush, okay, large fan brush. Okay, I'm going to use it like a knife. I'm going to load this full of titanium white, and if it doesn't stick, we'll add a little bit, but it's looking all right. It's looking all right. I'm going to use it like a knife, just pull, and it'll pick up some of that undercolour that's on there. And we can smooth all this out in a moment. I'm just using the fan brush like, see, that looks like a nice little mountain path, I suppose. Mountain path. Dear me. Okay, pull. Go across there like that. We can just tease those across there like so. In fact, it's not a bad idea to put a little tree there. So we might just do that, 1 or 2 trees. Maybe this is too cold for trees, but 1 or 2 of the big Himalayan pines might be lurking about. Okay, just like that. Okay, just there. Just use the fan brush like the palette knife. Okay, I'm going to get some liquid white. Okay, I want this to be really thin on the other side where the highlights may be. Okay, so we'll just play this just there, just like that. A little bit of highlight colour, just like that. Grab a touch of blue and then just mix that in to the path, the mountain path, whatever we call it. Go back to the white. Just I mean, you could do this with a knife. You could do this with any kind of brush, really. Your preference, however you want to do it, you do it. Okay. And like so. Maybe a bit more of that blue under that one. That looks. I flipped the brush around so I won't get that blue. There, like that. There we go. Tease it back, tease it back, tease it back. There, and I think we'll have another ridge there in a moment. Right, but we said we're going to put a few little trees just over there, just here. Okay, so I'm going to go into in fact I'm going to go into Prussian Blue and a tiny touch of paint thinner, just the tiniest amount of paint thinner. Dip your brush into the paint thinner and then wipe it against a paper towel. So this is black and Prussian Blue. And this is one of those little tiny rounded brushes. Okay, like a big phthalo brush. I'm just going to add one or two little trees just there. Now that'll give it some scale. Okay, I want something to give it a little bit of scale. Okay, now we don't want too big. One or two little trees just there. I hope you can see that. I'll try and zoom in so you can see some of this. Maybe they go off there, like so. There we go. Now go back to the white brush, this fan brush with the white on, and come all the way across the top of that, and I'll push those trees back down into over the hill. Over the hill. Okay, a couple of streaks of blue, give it a bit of a shadowy effect. Okay, a bit more blue here. I want to separate where the whites are going to be, so a little bit of blue. So we've got Prussian, Phthalo, Ultramarine, just there. Just like so. Now you can paint some stones in this as well, that might be a good effect, but I think I'm running out of time. And it's not time on YouTube. Make an hour's long video, 2 hour long, whatever. It's memory. And it's getting really cold. It's memory on the old camera. Okay, so I'm just adding some really thick lumps of white now, just down here. Just to give the indication of some real thick snow that's built up just down here. Okay, I think we will have one more big tree just for a little bit more scale. Okay, and then just tease this, take out the brush strokes, work on the angles of what you've done. Okay, maybe a bit more of that just there, like so. Because the paint's thick, you can really create lots and lots of nice, thick, snowy effects. Just even distort some of this, can't we? There we go. Okay, well, I said we had one more tree. One more tree. So again, back into the paint thinner, the blues. Okay. In fact, grab the palette knife. We'll just create a nice stick first for it. A nice trunk. And we'll go, where shall we go? About there. Straight down there. Okay. It's not a full trunk, but we're going to have some foliage on top of it. Now this rounded brush does all wonders of things. Okay, you can push up, push down, push left, push right. Okay, I'm just going to touch on with the corner and then zigzag side to side, side to side. Now thin the paint down so it can go right over that thick old mountain. Okay, just tap down just like this. That tree has got a marvellous view, but has led quite a strong life, really. Just there, like so. A bit more colour up there. Okay. Drag some of this down. Where's the shadow this side? So I want a shadow there like that. Okay. Back to the white brush, the white fan brush. We can grab some of this and pull. Create a bit of shadow in the snow. Just there. Just like that. There, like so. Okay, maybe this ridge comes up a bit bigger there. How's it looking so far? Are we doing good? I think we should change the angle of some of this. There. And all we're doing is just changing the angle of the brush strokes, and that will create all kinds of different effects just by changing the angle. Bit of a snowdrift there. I don't like big blocks of samey stuff, if that makes sense. Big blocks of samey stuff. There, look at that. That somehow just became a snowbank. That easy. That easy. Okay. I think we're about done. We're about done. Okay, so let me think we can put a few highlights. So we're about done. Just let me put a few highlights on this tree. Don't want too many. Okay, it'll just blend into the background. I'm taking some liquid white, titanium white, and there's highlights on this side, so we're just going to touch on and give it one or two highlights on there. Okay, just one or two where the snow is laying pretty heavy. There we go. Just like that. Now you've got to have the paint thin, or it won't work for you. You've got to have the paint thin. There we go. Keep it clean as well. Okay. If it gets too dark, if you pick up too much of that undercolour, wipe it off. Start again. Okay. There we go. We've got a nice little evergreen there. Okay. Last thing to do. Let's sign this do-for-do. Where shall we sign it? Let's sign it just down underneath this tree. I'm going to take some crimson, paint thinner, sign this one just there, like so. But if you have enjoyed this, it's a bit of a challenge, isn't it? Okay, it's certainly a massive challenge, but it'll give you good use of the equipment, and you know, you'll be amazed at what you can do. But if you have enjoyed this, give it a big old thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you've not already done so. Leave me a nice big comment. Let me know how you guys are doing as well. And until next time, take care of yourself. Stay safe. Happy days.